And one of the easiest ways to provide these more customized, more tailored experiences is Klaviyo. Klaviyo allows you to personalize on a mass level, where you can still get the benefits of personalization without too many of the complications, because every time you personalize, that is of course time away from other activities. However, with Klaviyo, you can build these up to your flows, etc., and then you will be able to just run them. So build once, enjoy forever principle. So in this video, we'll cover some of the ways that you can use Klaviyo to better utilize and help increase your conversion rate and average order value on your store. But before we jump into that, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, like the video, etc., do that, because by watching this channel, you'll make more money as an e-commerce merchant, guaranteed. So I basically built a lot of these videos here, almost like course content. So it is actionable, to the point, practical, etc. So we have statistics here, or similar to this, like where 80% of consumers are more likely to buy from a company that provides a tailored experience. And you also view these companies more highly. But before we can really dive into this one, I want to introduce a quick term here that will better help us cover this personalization and tailored experience topic. And that term is revenue per visit. So this is a very important term in conversion optimization. It is simply how much money you make for every person that visits your site. So for example, if you pay $1 to get a visitor, you need to have a high enough RPV, or revenue per visitor, to cover your costs and to make a profit. So that's generally what most of the merchants are struggling in the beginning. And there's a couple of ways to calculate this revenue per visitor. First of all, you can do the total revenue divided by the total number of visitors, or you can take your average order value and multiply that with the conversion rate. Typically, the first method is the easier one, total revenue divided by the number of visitors, because those are the people, or the metrics that people typically know. Okay, let's dive into how to actually improve this RPV, revenue per visitor, with Klaviyo. And the very first suggestion we have here is the personalized product recommendations. So this is simply showing product recommendations that are unique to that individual based on their behavior or profile. There's 3 ways to do this. So you can recommend products based on the user's previous browsing or purchasing history. So often this is done with categories or tags or these kinds of things, where you can pick similarities between these products, and then you can have relevant products for these people. Obviously, if you don't have relevant products, they're less likely to be purchased, and you're going to lose out on revenue. So hugely important to have the relevance factor here correct. Second option here is just simply recommending products based on customer's location or profile. So this could be a clothing store, for example, that is providing different clothing to Nordics compared to, say, Africa. So pretty simple things. On a profile level, it could be, for example, customer's age, some lifestyle preferences, these kinds of things, demographics, gender type of things, where you can group them into different buckets, and these buckets are likely to behave slightly differently. So this way you can optimize your chances of getting that sale by treating these buckets a tiny bit differently. And then thirdly, is simply using product affinities to recommend products. So here, for example, a good example is Amazon, that has this customers who read this book also read this book, or customers who bought this also buy this. So that's one where you can see that, okay, I'm interested in this kind of thing, and then the recommendations would be based on this. So for example, it could be like hunting products, or it could be soccer related products, like these kinds of things that are very often correlated when it comes to purchases, so frequently bought together. Second thing here that you can do is simply segment your audience. So segmentation is something that allows you to group an audience based on behavior, interests, personal characteristics, these kinds of things. And really the opportunities here are quite endless. You could even do how frequently they bought, how recently they bought, how much they typically buy, VIP audiences, these kinds of things. And then you can personalize based on that. This helps to ensure that the customer receives relevant emails and something that the customer can actually relate to. So it is not going to be the same email blast for all of these people, but it is ideally going to be segmented and also something where it's clear that it's segmented. So the more relevant, the less likely these emails are going to go to spam, the more likely they are to be appreciated and read, and also continuously engaged with, which is also a hugely important thing. So that's the one where if you do the segmentation right and it's relevant, you will be able to continuously draw them back to your site, your store, and have that ongoing relationship built up from that communication. And of course, you will need to find a balance here between going too deep into segmentation versus not deep enough, because eventually one thing that is guaranteed is that you will hit diminishing returns. You will not be able to just personalize till eternity and have it be a good use of your time. So that's one key caveat with segmentation that you need to be aware of. Third thing is offering product bundles. So for example, if a person bought X, they might enjoy a bundle of X, Y, and Z. So here often bundles are an attractive offer for shoppers who are more focused on value, perhaps more focused on convenience. And these bundle offers encourage these customers to then spend more each time they shop. So instead of only buying X, you can buy 2 products, 3 products, etc. It becomes better from the shipping standpoint, and the economics of it work best for both parties. So it's a win-win. Also, bundles can be great for reducing the decision fatigue when you have this bundle of related items. And there also you can get to this point where it will also be possible to bundle some things together. So this is the beginner bundle, this is the advanced bundle. And that way you will have people have an easier time making decisions. One of the things that you can do here as well is to do product upgrade emails to sort of like complete the look or complete the set. So that is often a great additional way to provide value while still, of course, making it transactional. So it's not pure value email, but it's not purely an ask email either. So it's really good for that. A great example for this is Dollar Shave Club, where they have their ultimate shave trial kit. And this kit itself can be way more valuable than the sum of its parts, because these items won't work individually. They need each other. And because of that, this is a perfect bundle. The value of these products expands in the bundle. So very good personalization there by Dollar Shave Club. And you can use this kind of product then in specific situations. So if you have this bundle built, you can utilize it when the opportunity comes. Fourth thing, and still too often overlooked thing that you can use to personalize your communication, is simply to set up abandoned cart emails. And this is really the 80-20 of email marketing, where these abandoned cart emails, generally like way less than 20% of your flows if your account is set up correctly, but they can generate a huge amount of revenue for you. Maybe not quite 80%, but a huge amount. And this is ones that tends to simply remind customers of what they left behind. It is personalized because it is based on their behavior. And then you offer them to get a way back to the store to buy the items that they left in the cart. So this also helps in being relevant. So you get these emails opened, and then you have a higher chance of customers completing their purchases, because it is also helpful. So it's not only an ask. And there's statistics about this. So based on Klaviyo statistics, sending just a single cart abandonment email yields an open rate of 63%. They had a click-through rate of 15%. And then the nicest part, of course, those don't really pay the bills, but revenue pays the bills. And a revenue per recipient was close to $11 just from the single email. So you can really make a really good return on this when you do it properly. Last and the final one is a little bit more advanced, but using A/B testing to reduce customer friction. So Klaviyo has this A/B testing feature, which is basically a conditional split. So you can decide that, okay, 50% will be here, 50% will be here, and then see how it performs. And this allows you to, for example, test different subject lines and messaging content easily. So you can test subject lines, messaging, send times to understand what works for your audience. And this way, you can also test personalization. So is it more relevant for them to get an offer for a jacket or a skirt, for example? So these kinds of things can help improve the relevance. One thing I really like about Klaviyo is that it's such a data-driven platform. So everything there is always tied to revenue, tied to data, etc. And this way, you will be able to judge which approach works best for you. Also, with emails and Klaviyo, you won't have these issues like such as cookie deletions, etc. that can be sometimes problematic when A/B testing on the sites. So it's a really, really good way to test. And as you already have these people segmented within the emails, it's a really smooth way to also sort of run the program. So those were the 5 tips for personalization on Klaviyo. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe and like the video if you didn't already. And I will see you on the next one. Cheers.